How do you hook up your brand new Dualsense Edge controller with your Cronus Zen? We'll figure it out in this video. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. So as you heard, we have the new Dualsense Edge controller and it's pretty amazing. We've done lots of reviews on the controller. We've talked about it. We've talked about how I'm liking the controller and that sort of thing. And the number one question I keep on getting is, Anton, how do I use the Cronus Zen with this brand new controller? Well, the short answer is pretty simple. Up until recently, you just couldn't. So the Cronus Zen team needed to do a patch to the controller to make it actually function through the Zen. So that patch is now out. So we are going to go through the process of updating the Cronus Zen, and then we'll hook it up to the PlayStation so that we can actually give it a try and see how it works. We're going to try it in a couple different modes. So number one would be playing PlayStation 4 games, and the other option will be playing PlayStation 5 games. And I'll walk you through the options for that, but we want to make sure it works on PlayStation 4 games first, and then we'll go to the PlayStation 5 games. So the first thing we want to do is go to the Cronus Zen website. We're going to go here, Cronus Max. Then we're going to go over here to downloads. And then we're going to go over here to our Zen Studio. We're going to download that. And we're going to download this, the Collective Minds Firmware Update Tool. So we're going to click here to download that. So we're going to download both of those things. Now, once those are both downloaded, you're going to want to go to your downloads folder. That's where they're downloaded on here. I'll just minimize the background. And what we want to do is the CM update tool first. Okay. So we're going to double click that. Now it's going to look for my device. So now I'm going to take my Cronus Zen. So we're going to plug this in with a micro USB cable into the back. And then we're going to hold down this blue button here. And now it shows up on our screen as Collective Minds Cronus Zen. So if you're not sure, all we did, I'll do it again. So this is a micro USB cord. It goes into that computer over there. We're just going to plug it in. And you'll see it boot up first with the green light. It wants to run. It wants to do its thing. And then the software says no device is sound. All we're going to do while it's plugged in is hold down the blue button until you see that show up right there, just like that. Please select your device to continue. This will also say Zen bootloader. So that means we're in the software. Now I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to say use the latest version available. I'm going to say continue. It's going to say fetching firmware. Your device will be updated to firmware version 2.1.0 beta 47. I'm currently on beta 43. So I'm going to say begin update. Okay, now it says update is complete, so I can close that. Now I can open the Zen Studio. Now for this next part, we're going to need a mini USB cable. So we can unplug our Zen from the back port, and then we want to plug this into the side port right here. This is our mini USB. I'm going to plug it into there, and then I'll plug it into my computer. Like that. So now it will boot up and you'll see the software will recognize it and everything should be all good. Now, all I want to check is that I have enable PS4 speciality for PS5 console, and that's it. I'm not going to enable PS Remote Play because I'm not doing that. So we should be good right now. So now that we've confirmed we're all good to go, it's time to boot it up in our PlayStation and see if it works. So to do that, I'm going to unplug this guy. Now the cable I'm using is this guy right here. It is a micro USB to USB-C cable. You probably have a micro USB to USB-A cable, and that's fine. It'll work either way. We're going to plug this in right there, like that. It has recognized our controller. We're going to plug in our USB-C to the Dualsense Edge controller, and we're going to plug this into the right-hand USB port on here. So we're going to go like that. And then when I push the PS button, I should now have control, which I do. Now that it's all connected up, I have loaded up Black Ops Cold War. Now this is a PS5 game, but it does not actively block the Cronus Zen from working. So this game should work just like this. Now, if you are experiencing disconnection issues after 5 minutes or so, I have heard reports that instead of plugging into the right port like we're plugged in right now, you can actually plug into the left port and it will still continue to work. So I'll get the disconnect notice and then I'm reconnected. Now, I've got a rapid fire mod turned on. I'm going to turn that off. So now it says game pack is off. You can see that on the screen right there. And I'm gonna show you that it's working just by holding down ADS and I'm gonna shoot. And I'm not gonna try and correct for recoil or anything. So I'm just gonna shoot and you can see the grouping there that it did. So you can see it kind of went up the screen. Now I'm gonna move over here and I'm gonna turn it on. So now I've got rapid fire turned on and I'm gonna do the same thing and then shoot this time. And you can see it's very dead center shot versus over here where it was like kind of going that zigzag pattern. So the rapid fire is definitely working on Black Ops Cold War, a game that does not block the Cronus Zen. Now, let's go out of here and we're gonna try and open up Modern Warfare 2. Now, this is a game that should block the Cronus Zen. So we're gonna see if it works. Right off the bat, it seems like it's blocking it because it won't let me push any buttons on here to skip this demo screen. And normally I can just skip right past this. So it's not letting me bypass this. Actually, let's try it just for fun. We'll try it on the right-hand side, like that. And we'll see if it works. Controller disconnected, should now say controller connected. And again, it won't work. PS5 games can't be played using the current controller. So we can see that it is blocking this controller in this configuration on a new game. That's going to be your experience for most PlayStation 5 games. It'll work fine on PlayStation 4 games, on your PlayStation 5 with this configuration. If you get disconnection issues, you either can try this other port or you will need to get that Hori controller and plug it into the side here for the game license. Now let's talk about how to use this configuration on PlayStation 5 games. So you've seen these devices right here. It should be no surprise that B-Loader and B-Loader Pro should still work with your Dualsense Edge controller. I am not going to test these today because I think there's a better option. And that better option, you've heard me say it before, is this, which is the Besavior controller. Now this controller has the Besavior backpack on it, but more importantly, it has this extra USB port right here, which allows us to 100% bypass the Sony block for devices such as the Cronus Zen or your ZIM or any other device like that. So we are going to use the Besavior controller to bypass the block and get us into Call of Duty, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2. It will work on Warzone. It'll also work on Fortnite, just like always. And when you say in the comments, Anton, try it on this game, it'll work on that game too. It'll work on every single game. So let's go through exactly how to hook it up. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to power off the PlayStation 5. And I need to do that for this connection, okay? So we want to make sure that we do this from the start properly. So the way that I hook this up to make this work pretty much every time, the first thing I do is power on the PlayStation with the power switch on the front. I then connect all of this up. So I've got my Dualsense Edge controller plugged into the right-hand port of my Cronus Zen. I have my Cronus Zen plugged into the backpack module on the Besavior controller with the Besavior controller all the way off. So if you're not sure if it's off all the way, hold down the PS button for at least 15 seconds. That'll turn it all the way off. Then I plug in that cord there. You'll see Besavior flash for a second. And then I press the PS button on here. And you saw, so I just pressed the PS button, and then I go to my Dualsense Edge controller, and I will be able to control the system with this controller. So now I'm gonna log into my account. Now, the easy way to tell if you're using the Dualsense Edge controller through the Cronus Zen is to press the PS button, bring up this menu, and then go over here to accessories, and it will report as a Dualsense wireless controller. So even though you can see I am controlling it with my Dualsense Edge controller, when I pull up this menu, it says Dualsense wireless controller. I can go to controller settings, and you'll notice I do not have the Dualsense functionality of here. So if I were to back out to here and I hold down these buttons, nothing will happen. And that is a function of the Cronus Zen not passing the info through to the PlayStation 5. So it's okay, but it means that if you want to use your controller back button mappings, you will actually have to pre-program them before you go into this Cronus Zen control stage. Now, I can go into Modern Warfare 2, which is a PS5 title. I'm going to use the back button to launch it so you can see that it is programmed. Oh, press the wrong button there. So this one here is my X button. So when I push that, it will launch the game. This one's mapped to my circle button. Now I'm going to go into a custom match because I don't play online with hacks or cheats or anything like that, but we can get into the game. You saw before it said PS5 controller was required. So now I'm fully in the game with my Dualsense Edge going through the Cronus Zen. So I'm gonna go to private match. I'll create a private match. I'll go to team deathmatch, and we'll just go into whatever map we can. Now, you should be able to also connect with a Bluetooth connection. I'm only showing you the wired connection because this is the connection that I got working. Now, we just want to see if the rapid fire is working or the auto aim. So I have the hacks on. I'm going to just ADS and then pull the trigger. Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I've said it before. I have no idea how to actually use scripts on the Cronus Zen. I have it just so that I can try it and see it. You saw my groupings there. It was horrendous. And that's because with whatever this hack is, it actually makes me jump while I shoot. So you can see I'm bunny hopping all over the place. Okay, anyway, it's working. You saw that when with it on and I shoot, I'm jumping around and moving all around, and it's auto aiming. I don't know. The scripts are working, okay? When I hold down the R3, what are these? When I hold down the function buttons, they don't function. That's more or less how to use the Dualsense Edge with current gen PlayStation 5 games. It'll work on Fortnite. It will work on all of the newest Call of Duties, Modern Warfare, Warzone, all of those. It works, okay? If you're wondering, will it work on my game? The short answer is yes. It works on every single game with this setup, this configuration. It should be noted that getting it to work like this is a little bit finicky, okay? It's a bit frustrating. If I'm being honest, I actually spent the last hour trying to get this to work, and I showed you the best way that I found to make it work most of the time. If it's not working for you, just power the system off, power the controller off, start over from fresh, and try again, and it should work. The other thing to know, I'll show you guys now because heck, why not? So I'm gonna connect my mini USB back up to the Cronus Zen, and I'm gonna open up the software on my computer. I'm gonna go up to the Zen Studio, which you already saw, and I'm sorry, I do not have a screen capture of this, but if I go to device, this is the setting that I ended up with. So you saw in the beginning of the video that I had it in enable PS4 speciality mode. It works, it has worked for me in the past, but I was having limited success. So I switched this to say enable PS remote play, and then I also put this on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 emulator running. This is the setting that gives me the greatest success. I don't know why, I don't know what this does. I don't really spend a lot of time looking at what this thing is all about. I just know that with these settings, I was able to actually get it to connect pretty much reliably. So that's how you use the Dualsense Edge with the Cronus Zen on every single PlayStation game out there, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 on a PlayStation 5 system. Also, you're gonna notice that I did not have a controller in the side here. That's because as long as you're using the Besavior controller, there's no license key to need because the PlayStation thinks you're using this controller right here. So it is accepting inputs from your Dualsense Edge. It'll accept inputs from any other controller that connect through USB or Bluetooth, and it feeds it through this PlayStation 5 controller and sends it to the PlayStation 5. No license needed, no PS5 dongle needed, no Hori pad needed, nothing. It just works regularly without any issue. So you won't have all those disconnection issues that you would have if you used one of these solutions. So the Besavior is that best solution if you want the latest and greatest Sony controller to use with the best cheat device on the market. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.